Welcome, Link. I am the essence of the Triforce. And if I recall, I think this is about the only game where the Triforce itself even has any real... Well, I shouldn't say sentience, but doesn't have a personality of any sort. Or dialogue, for that matter. Triforce will grant the wishes, the heart and mind of the person who touches it. A person with a good heart touches it, make his good wishes come true. If an evil-hearted person touches it, it grants his evil wishes. Yeah, you guys are kind of dicks like that. Stronger the wish, the more powerful the Triforce's expression of that wish. Ganon's wish was to conquer the world. That wish changed the Golden Land to the Dark World. Ganon was building up his power here so he could conquer the Light World and make his wish come completely true. Yes, we know this. I'm not an idiot. But now, you have totally destroyed Ganon. His Dark World will vanish. Triforce is waiting for a new owner. This one power is in your hands. Okay? Now touch it with a wish in your heart. Okay? Okay. So let me just load this just so I can cut. I wanted to just not say anything the first time I go through that ending, just because it's very very emotional and stuff. But this time I'm going to turn down the music a little bit just to talk about it. So, like, this ending sequence really does a great job at just trying to bring hope back to the game after all the dark moments all throughout. Like, both the king and the sage are alive again somehow. I guess the Triforce could just bring people back from the dead, I suppose. But, like, I've always loved this ending sequence just because it really just encapsulates just the world you were exploring the whole time. And I think the creators liked it too, since they did something similar for the ending when you beat Ocarina of Time, where you go back and you see everybody you've met throughout the game, and they're having this big celebration and stuff. So Miracle recovers. Yep, he totally recovered from that, like, deadly wound he had. Like, seriously. Just tell us he came back to life, like the king and the priest did. Speaking of Ocarina of Time, that is another game I would love to play for the channel, but, like, again, I really don't know if people would care. Link to the Past is getting a lot of views, but that's only because of the overwhelming popularity the game has. Link to the Past has always been insanely popular for whatever reason. Like, compared to other Zeldas, I mean. I used to be in love with it too, but admittedly the years have, like, not been kind to it in terms of my nostalgia for it. I've become a bit more jaded towards my feelings about it in recent years. So the bug-catching kid, huh? The lost old man. Oh well, he's probably just happy to know that his daughter's back, being one of the maidens and all. The forest thief. So yeah, and the Master Sword sleeps again forever. Yeah, whatever you say, man. Whatever. And then we get another song for the ending, which is very morose and overly emotional and just kind of sad sounding. Like, dude, are you trying to... Like, we've been on this epic adventure and you want to end on this song? Jeez. Talk about lessening the mood, am I right? Jeez. But, yeah. I'm not going to say this game isn't good for the era in which it came out in. And it's not like it's a terrible game. You could enjoy it, I'm sure, but I just think people are being way too blind to its faults, though, when they talk about it, and... Well, not everybody. I've seen some people that are that try to be very, trying to remember the word for that. Non-biased, I guess. I'll just use that term. And those are the ones I tend to take more seriously because people who are very nostalgic for this game and love it to death, you can't really depend on them for a legit, just, like any legit criticism because they just... It's like the kind of people who talk about games like Final Fantasy VII and games like Final Fantasy VI, you know, the types of games that most people are in love with and just have so many fond memories of it. They're not going to be the ones that are going to go out of their way to talk about its faults because that's not what they do. They like to focus on the good memories they have and the things it does right. And to be fair, I don't want every review to be talking about just the bad stuff. I'm not that jaded, but it is worth noting that I've noticed that a lot of people just, they're like that would probably die first before they would actually focus on a lot of the criticisms of these games. That's something I'm trying to be a lot better about. It's just trying to be very much very much fair when it comes to what a game does well and what a game does poorly. Even for some of the games I really love, I am at least trying to approach gaming with a... No, quest history. Justify roll. 0. There's none of 0. East Palace 0. Desert Palace 4. Mountain Tower 6. Dark Palace 7. Swamp Palace 7. Ghost Split 0. Thieves Town 0. Ice Palace 0. Disraeli Mire 0. Turtle Rock 2. Gant Tower 0. I'm not sure what that means. Maybe the amount of times I use the magic mirror. That doesn't make sense, though. Total games play, 26. Or is that the amount of times I saved and quit? I don't know. Seems kind of strange. But yeah, I'm trying to be better about that kind of thing, because even if it's a game you love to death, there's nothing wrong with analyzing it and talking about things that it could have done better. I'm like that with a lot of games these days now. To the point to where one person I was talking to on a Discord server one time actually kind of got sick of it, because I was the guy who hashtag hated everything because I basically, even things I loved a lot, I couldn't help but talk about some things that I didn't approve of it. And so that guy basically was like accusing me of just basically never being happy with stuff. And I said, I am happy with it, but I choose to be fair when it comes to talking about the game. And he said, but you sound like you're never satisfied then, if that's the case. I said, why? Because I don't think some games just are perfect, like 10 out of 10 games. That logic is flawed. And he said, but some games are like that, dude. Just because you don't like it doesn't mean that everyone else is not gonna like it. I said, are you suggesting that a game can't properly be a legit experience unless you believe it's completely just perfect? Because in my opinion that actually sounds really terrible. Like, if you really are saying that. He said some games are like that with people, dude. Like, he said some people just like to play games that they feel are just perfect with no real blemishes to speak of. And I definitely argued with him on that point because basically, I don't believe that games like that, the feelings that people have about those games, feels legitimate to me because I believe the flaws do exist, people just choose to ignore them. And he disagreed with me, saying that he said, no, the flaws just aren't there. You're just seeing things that don't exist. And I was like, yeah, we're going to have to agree to disagree on this because, of course, I did talk to someone else that said, yeah, different people just perceive things in different ways. He said, I've talked to some people that actually love Final Fantasy VI to death, and I've talked to some people that say that it's just lackluster compared to 7. And even more people I've talked to said they think 9 is the best, and 7 is just a very second-rate style experience compared to 9. So he always said, it really depends on who you talk to here. Different people are gonna have different conflicting feelings on what they think is the best. And he said, when it comes to all these games, I've heard people say that there are certain issues with these games, but they still will give them 10 out of 10 scores, which just feels weird to me. I said it is weird and shouldn't happen. 10 out of 10 seems to imply that they are perfect experiences. And if they are perfect experiences, then they can't be flawed. So that really feels shallow to me when people do that. People need to be completely honest when it comes to how they judge a game. Like, you can't say it's perfect when there are a couple issues that you might have with a game. They may not be important ones to you, but they are still issues nevertheless. Be honest about that. No one will look down on you if you suddenly change it from a 10 out of 10 to maybe like an 8.5 out of 10 or whatever. Seriously, it's not bad. Quit treating it like it's bad. Like, I swear, I think people need to just take the idea of things not being perfect and actually just say it's not perfect, but that's okay because it's still a good game. Just say that. But unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that refuse to come to terms with that. Especially when it comes to online discourse, they will often try to throw that out there just to kind of elevate their feelings for the game to be a standard, which, if you need other people's input to be positive for you to kind of justify your own feelings about the game you love, then I'd say that that's a problem, honestly, because your feelings about the game should matter the most in regards to you, not everyone else. Their opinion really shouldn't matter all that much to you. What matters the most should be how you feel about it. But people I've heard over and over again in the past say that they require acknowledgement to justify their feelings, and I've said, why? Why is that important to you? It shouldn't be this important to you. They said, because, dude, like, I want to make sure these feelings I have for this game isn't complete bullshit. Like, I want to make sure the game I'm playing isn't complete garbage just because I don't know any better. I said, that's not really what I consider to be a good attitude to have. Because when you get to that point, it becomes more important for other people to throw acknowledgement in your face than for you to actually like the game you love. And I'm sorry, but when it gets to that point, you are just following the masses. Like when it comes to that kind of acknowledgement, if the masses don't agree with your insight, then you're not gonna want to believe it, and that feels wrong. Like it just feels so wrong because you should be able to like what you like without feeling like it's a bad thing. Like I don't care what it is, you have a right to like it. Like I don't care if it's popular or not, or if people bash it, or if a lot of people consider this just a bad game. That doesn't matter. What matters is how you feel about it. Like, I'm just saying. But anyways, rant aside there, this is the end. Thank you guys for watching, and I guess I'll see you when I decide to get back to Lunar 2, I guess. And we'll see how it goes. It's going to depend how I feel, but I'll see you later.